appeals court in New York says it's okay for parents to spank their kids. The court sided with a father, saying he used reasonable force when he spanked his 8-year-old son for cursing at an adult. So again, this raises the question to spank or not to spank. Listen here.
Have you ever spanked your kids, even once? If this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you, is that true?
I think so. I spanked him because he was lying, and I just don't do well with lying.
Sometimes she does get out of control. I should.
What is your form of punishment if you don't spank?
I'll ground her for a day, and I'll take away her iPod, I'll take away her laptop, and I'll say she cannot watch TV. So basically she'll have to, go in her room, clean her room, and play with her dolls. And that's her punishment.
Isn't that sad? The punishment is now go to your room and play with your dolls.
Yes, I spank the children, but only if it warrants them to really pay attention.
Yes, there's other options before you get there. That's the last resort.
That was Christy Paul getting the public's opinion. Our expert panel is back. Danny, I heard you say times have certainly changed over the last, 40 years of what's acceptable and what's not. I'm going to take away your iPad. I'm going to take away your cell phone, and you could go play with your dolls, as Christy stated, right?
Yeah, you talk about taking away an iPad and a cell phone. You're basically just reverting me back to the 1980s when I grew up. So where's the punishment? I don't know. Look. People have differed. We as a culture have differed for millennia about how to discipline our kids. If you go back hundreds, even thousands of years ago, the view was that children were evil and parents had to beat the evil out of us. It's only in the last 20 years that we've changed our tune about corporal punishment. And the law slowly is reflecting our gradually changing attitudes about corporal punishment.
Yeah, I do want to read this about the New York State ruling. It says the father's open-handed spanking of the child as a form of discipline after he heard the child curse at an adult was a reasonable use of force and under the circumstances presented here did not constitute excessive corporal punishment. Janet, what's your take on the ruling and what they thought was not excessive?
I think it's great. I've represented a lot of parents who are confused. They don't know what's okay. The next case that I would like to see is, can you use a belt? You know, the old saying, spare the rod, spoil the child. Parents use belts. Is that okay? I suspect it's not, but I think parents are very confused what they can and cannot do.
Mike, what about the old timeout? You think that works?
No. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, the timeout doesn't work at all.
Don't
I'm no role model,
Yeah.
and I don't have any kids, but I've seen, timeout? We're going to put you in timeout.
My
so
mom
what?
took timeout to beat me with a slipper. That's what timeout was in
But
my
don't
house.
you think that parents...
And you deserved it, probably.
Don't you
I
think
did.
your mom obviously did not overdo it, but don't you think it's a good thing that we have our eyes open for the parents that do take it too far and it turns into abuse?
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Yeah, but what is too far?
Yeah, that's the question.
I mean, Danny,
ultimately,
what do you think is too far?
We increasingly have to define what is too far. And take a look. It's very easy for us to say, well, I wouldn't do that. It's not about what you would do or how you turned out. It's about what we're going to do as a society going forward about deciding this issue. And it will change. It'll change every day, every year, as we evolve in our views about corporal punishment. Is that ultimately good or bad? I don't know. Grandpa like me might say not. Who says? Every older generation thinks the newer generation needs a little more abuse. That's just the way of the world.
Janet, only have 30 seconds left. Do you think it's the right of the state to step in if they think it has gone too far?
Yeah, in cases that I've represented, it's normally if it leaves a mark, certainly if they go to the hospital, but we don't want to tell parents what's okay. I wasn't spanked. I think I turned out okay, but that was my parents' choice. And I know, Mike knows, but it's up to the parents, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Well said.